claim.
Like many doctors, Larry Dossi once found it hard to believe in the power of prayer. Two things changed his mind: the growing number of patients who said they were healed by prayer, and mounting scientific evidence.
I'm a science junkie, and I'm interested in what you can take into the laboratory, the hospital, or the clinic and prove by putting it to the test. And when you take prayer into the laboratory and you use it in an empathic, compassionate, loving way to make something healthier, you can show in study after study after study that it does exactly that.
One landmark scientific study on the power of prayer was done by Dr. Beverly Rubik of Temple University.
That humans have an extraordinary capability to enter into altered states of consciousness in prayer and affect physical reality, that we are much more powerful beings than we had thought.
Dr. Beverly Rubik is the director of the Center for Frontier Sciences at Philadelphia's Temple University, devoted to challenging mainstream scientific thinking. Dr. Rubik chose to work with a well-known American faith healer, Olga Worrell. To guard against patient bias, the two chose bacteria as the object of prayer.
I added an antibiotic to these cultures, which would inhibit growth. And I had two groups, a control group, which the healer did not touch or try to influence, and an experimental group, which she tried to intervene for through prayer and laying her hands near but not touching the bacteria. And we found in the cultures where the healer tried to influence them through prayer, the bacteria were able to overcome the antibiotic, and they continued to grow.
The big mystery in all of these experiments is what makes the difference. The explanation isn't in. It is still wrapped in mystery with a capital M.
Well, there are a couple of explanations. One is that when someone enters into a healing state, as Olga was, she was apparently in a trance, deep in prayer, that something might change about her body associated with this shift in consciousness, that the very low-level electromagnetic fields that emanate from our nervous system, for example, and heart could change, and that the fields emanating from hands then placed near test tubes could, in fact, help heal the bacteria.
I think it's pointless to say whether it's electromagnetic, hormonal, I mean, I don't know. But that there is some way of our communicating with each other that goes back to our origins, and therefore this energy and information transformation.
There are a lot of doctors and scientists at this point who would throw up their hands and say, that shows that this stuff is really out of bounds for science. Not true. I will challenge skeptics and cynics to really look at this data, visit the laboratories, and let this information engage them and come away unmoved.
People who had heart attacks at San Francisco General Hospital were prayed for. Control group is not prayed for, group is prayed for. The ones prayed for have fewer complications. Now that was put in a medical journal, and several letters to the editor said, why are you putting in this unscientific material? But it's totally scientific, double-blind study.
When people pray, it has a meditative effect. And we know that that is a very helpful effect in terms of enhancing the immune system and of doing good things to